All veterans who have served. We continue to share their stories in our special series, Veterans Voices. Tonight, the story of a high-flying Air Force veteran living in Minot, Ron Mackey. Carissa Stinchcomb heard all about his 30-year career.
It's an experience I'll never forget.
Before Ron Mackey was doing this, he was a kid in Barberton, Ohio. He joined the Air Force right out of high school in 1960. Nearly a decade later, his brother told him about an opening with the Thunderbirds, and that's when his journey around the world began.
I was selected, and I got there in 1969, and that was a different Air Force life for me. That was very, very, very exciting. We was only home 6-10 days a month.
Normally, flying with the Thunderbirds is a 2-year contract, but Mackey was lucky enough to fly for 4. He flew all over with the Thunderbirds, including South America, Central America, Europe, and Africa. He even flew into Minot for an air show.
I remember flying into Minot and thinking, wow, it was rainy and windy. I said, no, now I know why they talk about it like this, but I never had no idea I'd ever be here.
One of the highlights of his career came in 1970 when he met President Nixon after flying at the Air Force Academy graduation.
He was proud of the Air Force, and he thought we were doing a good job. And I goes, well, that's coming from the President of the United States. They don't get no higher than that. You know? So I grabbed his hand and I shook it.
But there were scary moments too. One of the scariest, he says, was when they were flying over Lake Michigan in November and the windshield started to crack.
The pilot says, well, you know, if this goes out, it's going to hit me right in the face and we're going to lose communication because it's going to blow our microphone, you know. We're talking through. He says, we'll lose. He says, do you want to punch out? Do you want to go first, or you want me to go first? And I'm thinking, and I look down there, and I'm water and cold. We went through, and it cracked up pretty bad, but couldn't see much, so we made an emergency landing at the naval base in Chicago. Before, when I used to fly and look down and say, oh, that's pretty down there. It'd be nice to eject when you could go down in a parachute. But I thought, ooh, when it comes time to where it might happen, I didn't like it.
Mackey was stationed all over the world, but as his time in Germany was coming to an end, his orders to Southern California changed unexpectedly.
The guys had a big sign up there, why not Minot? I thought to myself at that time, whose coffee cup did I crap in to go to Minot, North Dakota?
2 months after getting to Minot in 1975, he realized that only the best really do come north. After going duck hunting for the first time with some airmen, he decided to call Minot home, and he's been here ever since.
Minot's been wonderful, absolutely wonderful. I met a lot of wonderful people at the base and downtown, and I guess I'm prejudiced. I think this place is wonderful.
And wonderful is what he would call his time in the skies, too.
99% of every military person you talk to feels the same way. Yeah. They wouldn't change it for nothing, and they're usually always proud that they did it. And, you know, that's the way I feel, too.
Reporting for KX News in Minot, I'm Carissa Stinchcomb.
And he officially retired in 2009 and is a life member of the VFW and American Legion. He says he goes to his Thunderbird reunion every 2 years.